Hello students, standard 6 in revision for the physics. Today I am going to do something different. Means we already had revision once. Second time I am doing the revision. So what I will do today, I will write down some question and then I will explain the answer. But then after the video is finished, you have to write down your answers in your own language. Means you can write down for your own. So read the question carefully and listen properly, then write down yourself. So first there is short answer questions. Means that carry 2 marks. 2 marks one, which can be asked as a 2 marks questions. So I will write down only questions, remember. First question is, we cannot measure the length of an object. The length of an object accurately by using handspan, hand and footstep. Why? So it's a 2 mark question. We are going to first understand it, then we will take the next question. Now we know that in the ancient time also they were using this handspan, means the like that palm or footsteps, etc. Now the question is, we cannot measure the length of an object accurately by using handspan, hand and footstep. Why? We know that the handspan and footsteps, for different people that is different. We know that the handspan of all students, all the persons are not same. Footsteps also, if your feet is big, your footstep will be longer. But if a child is there, its footsteps are small. So when there are small footsteps, answer will be more. Long footsteps, answer will be smaller. It means that there will not be uniformity. So when different people will measure the length using their handspan or hand or footstep, the answers are not same. And therefore we cannot accurately find the measure of the length of an object. So that is the explanation. Let's take the next question. It is that why is standard or the universal unit of length needed? So now question is, why the standard unit or the universal unit for length is needed. Now we know that if the standard unit is not there and people use the traditional units like your straight palm or the fingers or your hand span or your footsteps, etc. Then as we saw that accurately we cannot measure the length of the given object, because when different person will measure the length of the same object, the answers will be totally different, and therefore it is not easy to tell the exact length of the given object. It means that we need a unit which can be accepted by everybody. It means that if I use it, another person use it, another person use it, answer must be same. It means that we need that standard or the universal unit of the length. So that universal means in anywhere you go, internationally, you go to America or China or Pakistan or any country, London, etc. Everywhere that length will be same. So we need that standard unit for the measurement of the length. Next question is, how will you measure the length? How will you measure the length of a pencil using a scale whose zero end is broken? Okay. So the question is that we have to find the length of the pencil. You have a scale, but its zero is broken. Zero end is broken. You don't have that zero end in your scale. Then what should be done? How can we find the length of that pencil? Now we already talked about it, that when the zero part is broken, then what should we do? That check which whole number can you read properly. After 0, if 1 is also broken or 2 is also broken or whatever is there, just check which first whole number is readable. And then what we will do? We will put that pencil on the table or whatever, and then at the one end, you put that number of the scale which is readable. And then, for example, if it is your pencil, right, and your broken scale is there. Suppose your 1 or 2 is readable. Okay, let's take 2 is readable. So now you will put your scale such that the 2 is readable here. Suppose it is broken like that. 0 is not readable, 1 is not readable, and suppose 2 is readable there. Then put one end of the pencil and number 2 of your scale, and then put along with it and find the final reading here. And then what we have to do, from the final reading you have to subtract the first reading. Why? Because here we are not starting from 0. 2 is extra already. It means that you have to subtract that 2 to find the real answer. So what we have to do? We have to start with whatever first whole number is readable on the scale and put the scale along with the pencil such that one of the end is at the readable, and then read the final position of the pencil and the scale. And then from the final reading, you have to subtract the initial reading to get the perfect measurement of the length of that pencil. So whenever it is broken, you have to do like that. So you will be able to write down the perfect measurement of the pencil. Next question, number 4 is, which units of length do we use in our daily life? Also, give relation between them. Give relation between them. So now the units of length. Which units of length do we use in our daily life? So now the daily life, the units of length we use. We know that we use the different units of length like centimeter, meter, kilometer, and the smaller is millimeter also. So which are the different units of length? Millimeter, centimeter, kilometer and meter. Those are the different units of length, among which meter is the standard unit, SI unit. As we talked about that standard unit here. So the standard unit of length is the meter. Meter, smaller unit is centimeter, still smaller unit is millimeter. And then bigger than meter is the kilometer also. Now what are the relation between them? Actually there are some more units also, but we generally don't use it because there is decimeter also, there is decameter also, there is hectometer also. But in our daily life we don't use, so you don't worry about it. That I gave you only for your knowledge. Actually there is a sequence: milli, centi, decimeter, deca, hecto, kilo. After everybody you write down meter, then all are the lengths, unit of the lengths. Milli, centi, deci, meter, deca, hecto, kilo. All meters. But here we are going to learn about only few, like meter, centimeter, millimeter and kilometer. Now 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meter. That are the relations now. 1 kilometer is 1000 meter. Because 1 kilometer divided into 1000 equal parts as a meter. 1 meter is divided into 100 equal parts. So 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter. 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter. And if you see on your scale, between the 1 centimeter also there are 10 sub parts are given, which is known as millimeter. So 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeter. So these are the relations between the different units of the length. Let's take one more. Give two examples of each of modes of transport used on land, water and air. So here you have to give at least two. If you write down more than also it is not problem, but not less than. You can write down more if you get more examples. So there are three transport route of transports are three: on the land, in water and in air. So now you can imagine your transport. For example, on the land, what do we use? We use bicycles, we can use scooters or the automobiles, cars, buses, trucks, train, etc. So you can write down your own examples. In water also, the boats, ships, steamer boats, etc. are used. And in air, you know that aeroplanes, spacecraft, helicopter, etc. So you can write down your own examples here also, so that you can write down the answer of that term. So here we are going to finish today's session, and you have to write down the answer of these questions as an assignment in your notebook. I will give this in your PDF file. Thank you very much.